Assalamu alaikum students. Today I'm going to define the major difference between an active voice and a passive voice. Usually a student on social media, when they take their online class from me on WhatsApp or Skype, so they once they complete their active tenses, so they ask a very silly question sometime. Sir, we have done our active tenses, so when we are going to start our active voice? By active voice is called active tense. There is a difference between these two things, active and passive. What is that difference? You have to remember it because it is very important. If we talk about main difference, so we can judge it from apparent, for example from its physical appearance. जो बज़ाहिर नज़र आ रहा है वहाँ से भी देख सकते हैं. First, if I talk about active tenses, so in active tenses we always has a subject. First thing is that the doer will be available in active tenses, and the second thing is that we will use first, second, third or even ing form in active tenses. This is the physical difference, जो apparent difference है, आप आंखों से देख सकते हैं. And in passive voice we are supposed to use only the third form of verb. ये तो वो difference है जो physically apparent है, जो बज़ाहिर नज़र आ रहा है. Now other thing is that आप जरा उसके if we just get into structure, so we come to know in active tenses we always have a subject which performs the action. For example, Ali writes a letter. So who writes the letter? Ali. I help my friend. Who helps? I help my friend. So you can see in active tenses you will always have a helping verb, but in passive you will always have a subject, but in passive tenses you will not have your subject. The action will be done from the object. For example, Ali writes a letter. This is an active voice because the performer of that action Ali is available. But in passive voice we will say the letter is written. A letter is written. We will not say Ali writes a letter. We will just omit or subtract Ali from the structure and we will say the letter is written. Now here this thing is very important, how to identify technically, like if there is a tense which is written in front of you even in Urdu or in English, so how can you discriminate or how can you judge or how can you finalize either this tense is an active voice or passive voice? So there is a very short trick which I have introduced in my previous lectures. First of all, you have to locate your verb. For example, if I say, मैं यहाँ पर लिखता हूँ अली खत लिखता है, so you can see Ali khat likhta hai. In that example, what is your verb? First of all, you have to locate your verb and your verb is likhna. So after locating your verb, this is the second step. Now go back and see either the performer of that action is available or not. If he is available, then the action, the tense is active voice, and if he or she is not available, then obviously it's a passive voice. So action is likhna. Likhne wala maujood hai. Yes, Ali writes a letter. This is an active voice. On the other hand, if I say Ali को मारा जाता है, again now apply the same trick which I've told you. First of all, locate your verb marna. So now see the person who is performing the action of marna is available, is present or not. Ali को मारा जाता है, so action is marna. मारने वाला मौजूद है? No. So this thing is important. Usually students struggle in this type of tenses, that whenever they see any like any word, Ali, he, she, it, I, we, you, they, so they think this is an active voice. No, it could be a passive voice. Even your like a word is mentioned, you can see Ali is mentioned here, yet it is a passive voice. You are not supposed to see the words, because through this way you might deceive yourself or you might be deceived in this way. आपको इससे धोखा हो सकता है. The important thing is that you have to see your verb and then you have to go back and see either the performer of that verb is available or not. If he or she is available, then it is an active voice, and if he is not available, obviously this would be your passive voice. This is very important thing. In our past, I still remember when I was in my school life, I used to remember active and passive voice by cramming it. Like this is present active, present tense is active voice, so we have to use this thing, and this is the passive, we have to use third form with is, am, are, was, were, and these type of thing. But no, when I grew up later, I came to know that this was absolutely a wrong trick or wrong practice. You can't learn active and passive through this way. You have to memorize and you have to remember active and passive voice first of all through its discrimination. First of all, try to learn how to discriminate either this tense is an active voice or passive voice. And if you are done with this identification, that you are sure that this is an active voice, then apply the formula. And if you are done that this is a passive voice, then apply the specific formula of that tense. This is a very important thing which I have mentioned here. Hopefully this lecture will be helpful for you as far as learning the difference between an active voice and a passive voice is concerned. Thank you very much.